Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our first edition of Big Brother 22 All-Stars live feed spoilers. Happy Final 5 Eviction Day. It may be time to get out your streamers and your party hats for your hashtag Memphis eviction party.
Yeah, it looks like that is still the plan, guys.
I don't expect too much craziness when it comes to that, but there's still some interesting discussions as to whether or not there are any divisions that might be caused within this vote, whether or not Memphis is going to be told enough information in advance. Is Memphis going to go vouch for Christmas in the jury?
Or do we think he's going to go there and be better?
Can Memphis pull off a last-ditch attempt to stick around? Probably not, but you know what? Anything is theoretically possible in Big Brother.
It's true.
All right, before we get into this, if you guys enjoy this discussion, subscribe for more, give us a like, support us further as well. Check those links to the store as well as our Patreon.
Also, we covered Amazing Race last night. It was the premiere. It was really awesome. They went to Trinidad. It was really cool. So if you guys are watching that, we're also watching that. So we have a video up if you want to check it out.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. We're looking forward to continuing to do that moving forward throughout all this crazy season.
Yeah.
But for now, let's get into Big Brother and this bizarro season where it feels like every time we think something dramatic or exciting could happen, the rug gets pulled out from under us. Like sometimes it's at the last minute, and it's like now the one hope of excitement we have tonight is that Memphis gets blindsided on the show. And then he's just like, I can't believe y'all did this to me live. I'm so upset.
I don't think he's going to react that way.
I know.
I think he'll just be like, good gameplay, whatever, and he'll leave.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be so shocking to Memphis. I know that he's feeling pretty safe with everything, but there's a part of him that has to realize that Christmas not campaigning means trouble.
Here's the other thing here. Not to say that we are doctors or experts of the human body here, but typically when one gets stressed out, you tend to be a little bit more achy. You tend to have some more back pain. And Memphis' bad is so bad that he basically slept on the floor last night.
Yeah, and if you have back problems out there, you know why this is happening. It is so uncomfortable, and you are trying to find any way to just release any sort of pain. So he is now trying this. So his back has been really bothering him for a while, but yeah, stress can also cause more back pain. So is he under more stress? Probably.
Yeah, like I think he's definitely worried that he is going to be evicted. Of course, there's a part of my head that is like, Memphis, if you're worried, why not try to make sure you have the votes? Like, why not try to just have a couple conversations? I think you're afraid of looking like you're too paranoid or anything else, but guess what? When you're sitting over there in jury house with your best friend David, maybe you'll kind of have some regrets about some things that you did along the way.
Yeah, like if you feel okay with Cody and Enzo, but you feel like Nicole maybe not so much into you and she's the HoH and you know she's hanging out with them, put some time into Nicole. Because if you do stick around, she could win the veto next week.
The thing that I there's a lot of different things I could sort of say is what's Memphis's biggest mistake here, whatever else. I think one of them this week is I think he's underestimated the amount of strategic prowess and control that Nicole can have in certain situations where she has tried her best to sort of steer Cody and Enzo away from evicting Christmas and keeping her in the game. And yeah, I think that Cody has been pretty for this as well, getting rid of Memphis here, but you never know. If Nicole wasn't there, maybe Enzo would have swayed Cody more to keep Memphis.
Yeah. Enzo telling Cody about this Wiseguys thing seemed like a good idea at the time, and I think it was a good idea at the time. But now it is starting to come back where Cody knows he's on the outside of this Wiseguys alliance. So why is he going to be dedicated to helping out Memphis?
There's, the motivation, unfortunately, it's just not really there in a big way for Cody, especially when your other option is Christmas, who is not exactly great in all aspects of the game, to put it lightly.
Yeah, and Cody's getting really annoyed, and I get this, that Christmas isn't really talking to him, like isn't really campaigning, isn't talking to him, is just sort of sitting pretty and no problems, and This is a very weird week where you have two people on the block and nobody's campaigning. Like, I don't know that I've seen a lot of this over the years. I've seen it where maybe one person's not campaigning, but this is so weird.
I don't know what they're going to actually put on the show tonight because they have not exactly given them material. Are we going to have 10 minutes of Enzo and the cow? Are we going to have
Enzo in the bathroom again? Because we only had that 5 times this season.
Are we going to have a jury segment? Are you just going to be like, okay.
Oh, jury segment.
Let's bring in family members and we're going to do like, okay, here's your video message from Victor that Nicole can overanalyze for the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. Everyone has been kind of quiet on this front, and even seeing last night's episode, there wasn't a lot of content, and with what's been going on in the feeds, there's not a lot of content.
Yeah, I don't know where they're gonna really get stuff. Maybe this is why we're actually seemingly, hopefully, going to get some of the HoH in the episode tonight. It is live.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is that I feel like Nicole, she's hearing Cody sort of do his ranting about Christmas, and it's like, this is where Nicole gets kind of astute. Like, she's using this as more fuel for the, oh, Christmas needs to stay fire, and is basically just like, you know, Cody, this is a reminder that Christmas is really terrible at this game. Like, remember when she was HoH and she used this dumb Untouchables argument on Bailey and Davon, who never bought it for a split second. Yeah, let's all remember this gong show of a week where it was just like Christmas didn't comprehend why Bailey and Davon were upset about getting so obviously lied to about a justification.
Yeah, and we've said it a million times, lying in this house, normal. Everybody does it. But when it's bad, you can't convince somebody that a bad lie is truth. People are just going to get irritated by it. So if that lie isn't working, you need to pick up another one.
Yeah, and so it is good fuel for Cody to just be like, you know, here's Christmas, who's probably not winning at the end, who is kind of inconsistent. I think the reputation players have sort of formed in their head of Christmas is that she chokes when the pressure is on. But I will say this, it feels like in looking back at this past HoH, that it wasn't so much Christmas choking as that one of those pumpkins just decided to develop a mind of its own and jump willingly out of that basket.
Thank you, pumpkin.
Like, you're telling me you did not want a week of Christmas in the robe, yelling and talking about Loyal's birthday?
1 week was enough of that. We're all over that now.
Can the pumpkin win AFP? Like, that is the real question we have to wonder now.
No, it is Davon or Janelle.
We haven't even gotten to the AFP discussion at the end of this. This is probably going to be the most dramatic thing of the season.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are rooting for a few different people. So it's going to be interesting to see where it actually lands.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun thing to get to. One of the more bizarre things that's going on in the house right now, spoiler alert, it involves Christmas and Memphis, who are two of the most bizarre people out there this season. Yeah. Memphis has sort of told Christmas that, if I end up going to jury, I'll put in a good word for you. Which it's like, okay, well, I have a couple of questions here, Memphis. Number one, how much time are you really going to get with people? I don't think I've said this on any of the videos yet, so let's put on the tinfoil hat here for a moment. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and you guys can too. I don't know how much we all saw of all the individual jury members sitting inside during that jury segment. It seemed like they were outside a lot.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know how much time they're actually spending together in there. I don't even know for sure they're all in the same house because of what's going on in the world. I kind of thought maybe they all do stay inside and maybe they're just brought outside because the camera people can't go inside due to health restrictions or whatever else.
Yeah, or maybe it was just nice out, so they were like, why not? Or they just had it all set up. It is a skeleton crew, so maybe they just had the one set up at that table outside with the booze.
Even if hypothetically they do all have plenty of time to talk together in jury, are any of these people going to be like, you know what I really want to do? I want to go hang out with Memphis. Like, and
talk about Christmas.
Yeah. Like, are Ian and David going to be super excited about this idea? Hey, let's go party with Memphis?
And is he even really telling her the truth? I mean, there looks like there's been a little bit of fun and flirting and friendship and everything, but I don't think Memphis thinks that Christmas is a great player or that he's really gonna get anywhere with the jury by putting in a good word for her. This might just be sort of a pushing along the friendship. You know, when your best friend is like, hey, do I look good in this dress? And you're like, yes, but you're kind of like, I don't know about this dress. I would never do that personally to my best friend and let her go out looking bad. But sometimes
I've heard of this phenomenon.
You just gotta be nice.
Well, this is the thing with Memphis, is just that I don't think Memphis is going to be someone who votes based on relationships. I think Memphis will probably vote based on game because he does want to be perceived that way. Like, there's been some joking around between Enzo and Cody and Nicole that's kind of like, oh, you know, what if we split the vote, Nicole? What if you have to be the person that, like, all that sort of nonsense. But even if, like, Enzo did vote to keep Memphis and Memphis still goes, I don't think Memphis is just going to vote for Enzo to win because of that.
No, and I mean, I just don't see Enzo and Cody actually doing that. I mean, they
No.
were just joking around, but I mean, if let's say it was serious, which it's not, I mean, what purpose would that serve? All it's going to do is piss off Nicole for both of them, and there's no reason to do that.
I think Memphis is voting for Cody if Cody is at the end. I think it's pretty open and shut. Kind of like it is with a lot of people, which is why, Enzo, this is your mission if you choose to accept it. Get rid of Cody and win the Final Four veto. It is a risk, but you will win the game if you make it to the Final Two doing this.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard with Enzo because one, big move Enzo hasn't done anything.
No.
He's been all talk, no show.
No move, Enzo.
He has also been very loyal to Cody. Even in like the past episode, he was still talking about his loyalty to Cody. And I could see him just taking him to the end and thinking that he has a better argument against him.
Enzo, you are going to make me so upset on the finale video if you willingly take Cody to... I will have to sort of just pull back every good thing that I have said about your game. Okay, not every good thing, but a lot of them.
Listen, he's played a pretty good game.
Yes.
The issue is that he just... I don't know that he has it in him to make that move and cut Cody. If he does, he really deserves this season. I know a lot of people think he's riding everybody's coattails or Cody's coattails, and I just haven't seen it that way. There's been a lot of them both sharing information and doing things together. So, like, it's not, for me, one-sided. But if Cody, I think, will cut Enzo. He's already said, if I'm HoH next, you're going on the block. I'm sorry, but you'll just be a pawn. He could have picked Nicole and he didn't. So, I mean, if I was Enzo, I'd be thinking about that. I just don't think he is.
Yeah, I hope that he is. Enzo, think of all the tea kettles, all the 80-inch TVs you could buy with $500,000.
He's not buying a tea kettle. He could buy me a tea kettle. I don't have a tea kettle.
We can get us a really fancy tea kettle in return for all of the Enzo chants that we've done all season if you win, Enzo.
Enzo,
tea
blue
kettle.
one, blue
Wait,
one.
blue one?
Yeah, I want a blue one.
Okay, well, here's what we have learned today, everyone. But, all right, we'll conclude this by talking a little bit about the HoH, because it's true that there's a lot of different directions they could go with this.
Yep.
At this point. It does feel like we've done a lot of memory-based things relatively recently.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of the true or false question stuff. We've done a ton of puzzle stuff.
We've done a ton of puzzle stuff, it's true. And I have been thinking a lot about this over the past day or so, and I think Chaz even mentioned it in one of the comments that typically, part one of the final endurance is usually an endurance. So Are you going to do an endurance like for Final Four HoH so close to that? I don't know. I just think ultimately at this point, they got to be aware they haven't done many of them. The one thing I'm kind of hesitant on is usually they like blast out in advance that, oh, there's an endurance coming, guys, so get your live feeds ready. I haven't heard anything like that so far today.
No, and I think with something like an endurance, like the wall or the swinging thing where you get hit by a big foam pizza or whatever's happening, I mean, those things take time and manpower, and I don't think the manpower is there for a lot of those setups. So they might have something else that's another sort of quiz or something like that.
I'm going to give my prediction now, and I'm going to try to balance this out, because I don't want to live in complete unicorn land, because
Please say slip and slide, Slip and slide.
Slip and slide. Okay, yes, I will say slip and slide.
Really? Or are you just,
I really have no idea, to be honest, what the HOH is going to be, but I want you to have the hope for the slip and slide. But
listen, you can see yourself out.
Hey, listen,
how dare you?
I want to partially be in unicorn land here. We have let ourselves get totally screwed.
This is like the lemon tree all over again. I have this lemon tree that pretty much died, and then Matt willed it back to life.
Yes.
And it came back to life, and I was like, you think it's ever going to grow a lemon? He's like, possibly.
Well,
it's never going to grow
I
a
don't
lemon,
know.
and I know it.
It could still be a slip and slide. All I think is this. I think Enzo is going to win the HOH, and I'm trying not to. This is actually not the ideal situation. Like, the ideal would be Enzo winning veto and then getting rid potentially of Nicole. I think that sets him up better. But
I think that's what would happen.
I just feel like this is a season where we're probably not getting everything we want, if that's not clear already. But I think at least Enzo winning HOH, it gets him into the final three. Then at that point, we can sort of see, what happens if Cody wins the final four veto. Is he really going to get rid of Christmas at that point? It feels like possibly, but Nicole's such a bigger threat.
Listen, I love Enzo. You guys know I love Enzo. Enzo is my winner's pick.
Yeah.
I don't think Enzo is winning this HOH. On his season, he really won next to nothing. He's won kind of next to nothing this season. He's won a veto and an HOH like a million years ago. Comps are not really his thing. It is more of the strategic side of things and building relationships and the social game. He's really good at that. But as far as comps, I mean, we've got Christmas has won a couple things. She's also had a couple things that were like someone else got it wrong, so she won.
Yeah.
Nicole can't play. Enzo's won very few things. Cody is winning this one. That's where we are, guys. That's where we are. That is what this season has been like.
Well,
no slip and slide, and Cody will be the HOH tonight.
Cody winning HOH, Enzo winning the veto, Nicole being voted out. That's not a bad situation, because then you have Cody, Enzo, Christmas. Enzo, you can win that final HOH, you can get rid of Cody, and then you have the Enzo goal. But yeah, Cody's probably winning this. Let's not kid ourselves too much here.
Yeah. I would like to live in unicorn land where Enzo wins and my lemon tree grows something. But, here we are.
When life gives you a lemon tree, you make lemon tree lemonade eventually. I still believe in that tree. It is out there. Enzo, I still believe in you. We'll see what happens. But for now, what do you guys want to see on Big Brother tonight? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, subscribe, give us a like, support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.